What is going on, guys? My name is RoyTheBoy, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5 best first car mods when you're first getting into the modding scene. These are going to be 5 things that apply to really any car out there. This is going to be the just best mods when you don't have anything done to your car. It's completely stock, super boring. You hate driving it because it's stock, and you just are dying to put that super loud exhaust on it or something like that. And of course, this is also going to be completely my opinion. If you're out there and you think my list is in the wrong order, then that's all good. Once again, this is just my opinion, but these are the 5 things that I think personally are the best 5 when you're just starting off. And the first 5 that I would put on a new car if I was modding it. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so to start off this list, number 1 first car mod I would put on any car out there, this is going to be coilovers. So, and I'm not talking about lowering springs or air suspension. This is just going to be strictly coilovers. Coilovers do so much to change your car especially when it's stock, because for one, it completely changes the entire feel of the car. There are cars that come with, like, obviously, a Lamborghini is going to have very sporty suspension, but if you do change out to coilovers on, let's say, your Acura RSX, your Subaru BRZ, similar cars of that nature, it's going to completely change the way your car feels. It's going to eliminate a lot of body roll. It's going to overall make the ride a lot stiffer and feel much more responsive and sportier. And then also, I think it's probably the best aesthetic change for any car with no other mods on it. It's going to get rid of that wheel gap if you end up, depends on how much you lower it, of course, but I don't know how windy this is. I'm gonna hope it's not windy. Try my best out here. Yeah, it's going to make the biggest difference for your car, and that's why I say my number 1 first recommended mod for your stock car is going to be coilovers. The second mod you should put on your brand new unmodified car is an exhaust. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys saw this coming because I'm obviously a fan of cars with modified exhausts. It's just gonna put a smile on your face every time you drive your car. I don't know how else to say it. I know that whenever I get into my car after I've been in maybe someone else's car or driven another car, I just love to hear the exhaust note. It puts the biggest smile on my face every single time. Yeah, it's gonna completely transform your car. Couple that with a good set of coilovers, and you really have a much different feeling car that's going to be a lot more fun to drive. So, number 3. I would have to say wheels and tires, and I'm gonna count them together as one mod basically because you usually buy them together. And that's because most of the time you are going to be changing your sizing on your wheel itself. So you're gonna need a different set of rubber to go around it. I would say this because aside from coilovers, this is the next biggest aesthetic change that you can do to your car. I am a fan of having really good fitment, like super on point, like as you can see here on my car, on my perfect car that is not a shitbox in any way whatsoever. Yeah, I just like having good fitment. If you're upgrading wheels, I would recommend getting a more offset wheel that's going to give you a little bit better handling properties on your car. It's going to give it a little bit wider stance and overall just make it more stable around corners. If you're upgrading tires, go with maybe a set of summer tires if you live in sunny California like I do. It will really change the car performance-wise. Tires are actually probably the best thing you can get for your car if you were to, say, bang for your buck for performance. So yeah, wheels and tires, that's always a great number 3, and that's what I would put on a car as my 3rd mod. The number 4 thing I would say, and this is gonna be for most cars, I would get either a front bumper lip or a new front bumper completely. This is going to really make the entire look of the car. And I've always believed that if you change the front lip, it'll give your entire car a different aggressive setup as far as like the aesthetics go, the aero, as opposed to any other part. The front of the car is usually going to look the most aggressive. So if you add a more aggressive front lip, this is just going to change the entire look of the car. And having the front lip on there, that's just, in my opinion, that's just the best aesthetic or aero piece that you could add to the car, and it's definitely the first piece I would add. I wouldn't add, let's say, the side skirts or the rear bumper lip because that would look kind of weird. Yeah, so front lip is definitely my number 4. So my final mod that I would put on a new car, my final best 5th mod, I don't know how to, I'm not good with words, guys. Number 5, I would go for an intake system. When I say intake system, I mean cold air intakes. This is going to really change the sound of your car more than you would imagine. You get that nice suck sound. I don't know how else to say it. And it's going to, 1, really change the sound more than you would think. And then 2, also add to that performance gains, especially on a car. If you already have an exhaust and you add an intake, it's going to completely change the sound of the car. A good exhaust paired with a good intake, you're going to hear a much more pleasing sound from the car instead of from just an exhaust. That can get a little annoying, just having an exhaust, in my opinion, maybe a little droney or something. But when you put that intake on, it adds another, get more of that engine sound. You also get the performance gains from an intake system, because stock systems are usually meant to just be as quiet as possible and maybe as fuel efficient as possible. They don't necessarily care the most about performance, especially if it's not a performance car. So going to a cold air, not a short ram. I would not put a short ram intake on my car. I don't believe that it is beneficial over stock in any way except for the sound. I would definitely go to a cold air, and mine is located actually right through this hole. It's down in the bumper so that it is cold air going into it, not hot air from the engine bay. So that's why I say I would go with a cold air. If you have a turbo, you're going to hear a lot more of that turbo spool and turbo sound and maybe some flutters. Yeah, overall, cold air intake is a great 5th mod. Paired with the rest of those mods, I mean, that you're gonna have a pretty solid, nice little daily driver and nice little fun car to drive around, especially when you wanna get a little spirited with it. So, I guess that's kind of where I'm gonna wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more videos like this. I have a complete build on this car if you would like to watch. I upload weekly. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.